Hi, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started in just 1 minute as you all hop in the room. We will get started here in 1 second. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Indiana students. This virtual college exploration is hosted in partnership with Indiana Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. We are so excited that you are here. A couple of housekeeping notes before we turn it over to our presenter for the day. If you have questions throughout the session, we would love for you to ask them using the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and you will see a picture of that on the slide right here. Both your camera and microphone are off, so you are muted and your video is not shown. So the only way for you to let us know that you have questions is through that Q&A box. Today marks the second week of the virtual college exploration, so we would encourage you to sign up for other sessions and attend other sessions to hear about what schools are sharing, and also know that all of these sessions are recorded. So if you have to hop off at some point for another reason, you can catch up on the rest of the presentation, as well as catch up on other sessions, and those are all at InACAC.org. So with that, I will turn it over to our presenters, and thank you all so much for being here.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can go ahead and get started. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Jocelyn Valdez. I hope I'm sharing the right screen, which I'm not sure if I am. So let me go ahead and do that once more. Okay, so again, welcome so much and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jocelyn Valdez. I am one of the admission counselors here at DePaul University. I work specifically with students from the state of Indiana, the state of Wisconsin, and some areas of Illinois. So I really hope that you guys take the time to reach out to me if you have any questions. But you know, as far as getting started, for some of you, this might be the very first presentation you're joining, or this might be another presentation from another college, and that's totally fine. I'm honored that you guys even took the time to come to my presentation today. We're going to learn a little bit about DePaul. The first thing about DePaul is that we were founded back in 1898. And a fun fact is that for our first year, we had about 70 students in our class. At the moment, we are at about 23,000 plus, so we definitely have grown. Around 15,000 of those students are going to be undergraduate students. This can be like, well, this can seem like a very large number, but I don't want anyone to get that shocked, because we are always really proud to say that we truly do provide a classroom setting for every single type of learner. Whether you are a audio learner, whether you are a visual learner, or whether you are a kinesthetic learner. Our average classroom size is going to be around 22 students, and our average student faculty ratio is going to be about 15:1. So again, a type of environment for every single type of my students as well. We have students from all 50 states and over 111 countries. So Chicago definitely does attract many, different people, and I think that shows it as well. And let's go ahead and, a couple things from this slide as well is that we were named for St. Vincent de Paul, who is one of the founders of the Congregation of the Mission. And DePaul is actually the largest Catholic university in the nation. Here at DePaul, we always like to focus on 3 words. The first word is education, the second word environment, the third word is going to be ethos. To kind of put those into perspective, we always like to ask ourselves, how do we take our academics and translate it into the real world? How do we take this beautiful city of Chicago and how do we navigate it and take advantage of the resources it provides us? And lastly, for our ethos, how do we follow our Vincentian values and how do we engage with our community and help others? So focusing on that first E, education, let me talk a little bit about our quarter system. So if you're not too familiar with our quarter system, I'll kind of explain the difference. A typical semester system will have 2 required semesters per academic year, and those semesters will typically be about 16 weeks long. With a quarter system, you actually will have 3 required quarters per academic year, and each quarter is going to be roughly around 10 weeks. So for here at DePaul, if we're looking at our quarter system, our fall quarter is going to run 10 weeks between September and November, typically ending November around Thanksgiving time, a little bit before. And then once you finish your fall quarter in November, you will have a 6-week winter break. It's just gonna be a really nice time for you to go home if you're from out of state, and then just enjoy time with, you know, friends, family, the holidays, and not have to worry about school. When it's time to come back, you will come back for our winter quarter. That's going to be 10 weeks between January and March. And then you'll come back, well, March will end around spring break. You'll have spring break. And then you'll come back for our spring quarter, which is going to be from March to the beginning of June. There is an optional summer quarter from June to August. But again, those are just for students who want to take courses over the summer. While you are here at DePaul during your 3 quarters, you're most likely going to be in one of these colleges. So here at DePaul, we do have 10 schools and colleges, and I'll go ahead and run through almost all of these. I will not focus on the last 2 schools here at the very bottom of the list. Our College of Law is going to be, you know, for students who have already gone through their undergraduate degree and are getting their college degree at the moment. And then our School for New Learning is going to be for our adult students coming back to obtain a second bachelor's degree or coming back to complete a degree. So, you know, let's pop those out of the list. We're going to start at the very top. So starting with our Treehouse College of Business. So this is actually going to be our largest and most popular college here at DePaul. Here in this college, you're going to have majors, you know, all over, anything from entrepreneurship to management, accountancy, marketing, finance, economics, the list goes on. We always like to say that regardless of your major, everyone will have to take their core 14 classes, which basically means that no matter which major you are in this college, you'll still have to take 14 classes of other related majors. And we do this purposefully because yes, we want you to be an expert in your field, but yes, we want you to eventually, you know, be ready for promotions. When you're a manager, you have to learn, or you have to know aspects of different, you know, business. So we always want to prepare you for all types of stuff. So you're also going to take advantage of, you know, the fact that this college is going to be in our Chicago business district. So I'll talk a lot about this a little bit later on, but, you know, we'll have a lot of relationships with Fortune 500 companies. Here in Chicago alone, there's over 400 company headquarters. So it will not be difficult for, you know, a student in our College of Business to obtain an internship or eventually a job. Jumping down to our College of Communication. We'll take advantage of the fact that Chicago is the 3rd largest media market. So we're going to have a lot of in-house communication opportunities for our students. Anything, you know, including Radio DePaul, Good Morning or our Good Day DePaul morning show. And also we do have a newspaper called the DePaulia. So we'll have different opportunities for students to kind of explore the different types of communications that there are out there. And eventually our students will venture down the road to companies such as ABC7, Fox 32, or Edelman, which is a top PR firm. Going down to our College of Computing and Digital Media, there's going to be a 2-part college. The computing side of it is going to focus on majors like computer science, cybersecurity, information systems. And then the second part of this, the digital media part, is going to focus on, you know, film and television, animation, and graphic arts. A fun fact is that film and television is actually our fastest growing major here at DePaul. Whenever we have a really fast growing major, we always like to make sure that we're providing students those resources and opportunities that go in conjunction with that major. So DePaul has actually created a partnership with CineSpace. If you're not familiar with CineSpace, it's basically the 2nd largest film lot outside of LA. Although now I think we have to fact check ourselves because Tyler Perry just opened up his film lot. And we still haven't seen if it's bigger or smaller than CineSpace. But at the moment, we're going to stick with 2nd largest. So CineSpace is a place used by all types of productions for, shows or televisions being filmed here in Chicago, and we'll have classes over there at CineSpace. We'll take students on very frequent trips over there in CineSpace. So that just exposes our students to those opportunities in case they want to do an internship over there or eventually want to obtain a job there. Jumping down to our College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences. So this is going to be the core education here at DePaul. Regardless of your major, you're going to have to take some type of class here because they're going to revolve more around like gen ed, psychology, electives, and such. This college actually houses our most popular major for our incoming freshman classes, which is going to be undecided. If you're an undecided student, fear no more. I mean, that is something that is very commonly done here at DePaul, and we're very much ready to help any student that is undecided. So there's different types of undecided students. Our first type of undecided student is someone who maybe has no clue what they want to do. You have multiple interests. Someone like that will work in conjunction with a academic advisor and a career advisor to try to take multiple tests, talk through interests or fields of areas of study that they are interested in, and they'll take classes from those core areas. Someone like this will not fall behind on their 4-year plan because in the meanwhile, while you're discovering what you want to do, you're still going to have to take your gen eds and electives. You will not fall behind, and you have up to 2 full years to be undecided. By the end of your sophomore year, you do have to declare a major. A different type of undecided student is going to be someone who says, Jocelyn, I know I want to do something in science, but I'm not sure what I want to do. You can be an undecided student in a specific college as well. You'll still work with an academic and career advisor, but that just kind of narrows down the types of majors and opportunities the student would be exposed to and take classes from. So those are the different types of undecided students. And again, these undecided students will not fall behind on a 4-year plan. And if anyone has any questions, please be sure to put them down in the chat below or in the Q&A box. The next college is going to be our College of Science and Health. This is going to be for all of my science students. We have multiple majors for anyone wanting to do anything like pre-med to physical therapy to pharmacy, and the list goes on. This college is going to house one of our most popular honors programs, which is going to be the Pathway Honors Program. Basically what this program is that DePaul has a partnership with Rosalind Franklin University of Medicine and Science that provides highly academic students the opportunity to go to med school after graduation. This is a program or an honors program that you need to be extended an invitation to participate in. So during the admission process, if you meet the criteria from the College of Science and Health, you'll see an application pop up. If you are interested, you can go out and apply. They'll do a review of your application, maybe make you go through an interview or two. And if you are given this opportunity and are accepted into the Pathway Honors Program, we basically give you conditional admission to Rosalind Franklin. Once you are, close to graduating from DePaul, they'll go ahead and just take a look at your GPA, and if it pans out to the requirements, you will flip that preconditional admission to admission and then just slide right into med school. You would not have to take your MCAT or any other type of required classes for admission for Rosalind Franklin, which is a really big deal. So if you're someone who's interested in learning more, please let me know. Our College of Education. So this is actually going to be one of my favorite colleges because the director here is so fantastic. So beginning of your sophomore year, you'll start getting a little bit more exposed to different types of schools and then the populations that, you want to work with. So sophomore year will be a lot of maybe just more so shadowing a classroom and what types of, different teaching philosophies teachers have. The junior year, you're going to be more of a teacher assistant, and then senior year, you're going to be the teacher of the classroom for some time. So what's really great is that this director in this college in specific works a year ahead of time. So anyone who's looking to do student teaching in certain schools or districts will most likely get those opportunities to do that. And then if you're someone from out of state who's going back home, we've never had a problem transferring a teaching licensure to a certain state. So you can feel safe in doing that here at DePaul. I'll go ahead and talk about our theater school and our music school in conjunction. So these are going to be conservatory style schools. Basically what this means is that they have a really rigorous program, and they are highly selective in the sense that they require, interviews, auditions, portfolios, and so on for their admission process. These are very popular schools that have a lot of potential of applications and, experience after college. So they actually have their own admission team, their own admission process, all that jazz. So if you ever take a chance to look up, theater school or music school alumni, you're going to see some really big faces that have come across your screen. And if you have any questions about them, just please let me know. But regardless, if you became a part of the DePaul community, you'll probably want to check them out because they each put on about 100 productions a year, and they are fantastic, I will say that. So just take a chance to take a look at them. I think that's all I have for that. Yeah, so just to, encompass it all, we do have over 300 academic programs. And, like I had said, our average classroom size is going to be around 22 students. We do have, of course, a couple classes that are a little bit more popular, like the Gen Ed classes, but all of them will be capped at 30. So a majority of our classes will have less than 30 students as well. These are some nice things that just have been said about DePaul University. U.S. News has ranked us one of the best national universities. We are the largest Catholic university as far as 2018. One of the best value colleges named by Forbes. And one of my favorite ones up here is this 90+%. So 90% plus of our students are either employed, seeking education, or not seeking employment within 6 months of graduation. And I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about how our career services plays into this a little bit later down the road. To transition to our second E, which is environment, I'm going to go ahead and talk about our campuses. So if you weren't familiar, obviously we're going to be located in Chicago, Illinois. We do have 2 campuses. The first campus is going to be located in the Loop, which if you can see up here, it's more of the downtown Chicago area. And to give you guys a point of reference, it's not too far away from the famous Bean. And then our second campus is going to be up in Lincoln Park, and this is going to be the more traditional college campus where you have the traditional residence halls, the quad, and such like that. It's not going to be one of those situations where you have to apply to one campus or apply to the other. We like to say that these are dual campuses. So whatever you find in one, you find in the other. Both campuses will have a library, residence halls, dining, student clubs, resource offices, and so on from there. So included in everyone's tuition, it's going to be something that we call a Venture U Pass. The Venture U Pass basically gives you unlimited rides during the academic year on this public transportation that we like to call the L. And this L will take you back and forth between campuses as much as you want. But since it is included in your tuition, I always encourage my students, you're paying for it, so just this system will take you all over Chicago. So please go and discover the city with this Venture U Pass as much as you can as well. So students can go back and forth. Something I didn't mention before is that our 10 colleges and schools are divided between our campuses. So the 3 undergraduate colleges that you'll find in the Loop are going to be our College of Business, College of Communication, and College of Computing and Digital Media. All the rest of the undergraduate colleges will be in Lincoln Park. But again, it's one of those situations where, we'll provide you whichever type of environment you want to live in. If you are someone who really wants that traditional college campus to live in, you can live in Lincoln Park, and let's say you're part of the College of Business, you can live in Lincoln Park, take your gen eds and electives in Lincoln Park, and then just have to commute downtown to the Loop for your business classes. Or vice versa, if you're someone who loves the city, but your college is up in Lincoln Park, you can live in the Loop, commute all the way up to Lincoln Park. So those are just a couple of advantages that we do give our students. Like I said, we provide the type of environment that students really want to be in, whether it's academically or socially or environmentally. So just take advantage of those opportunities too. Across both of our campuses, we're going to have 12 residential communities, and we have different style rooms for you too. We'll have, singles, doubles, triples, quads. And then we'll have apartment style houses and apartments, not houses, apartment style buildings. And then we will have like apartment suites as well. We never require our students to live on campus. If you do want to live on campus and join our freshman class, about 71 to 75% of our incoming freshmen end up living on campus. And if not, I mean, you are in Chicago, so you probably will find housing somewhere in an apartment building, and that's a very popular option for our students to do as well. So obviously in your environment here in Chicago, there's going to be a lot going on. We have anything from events, theater, professional sports, food, music, museum, art. I can go on and on and on. One of the biggest things that we do get from out-of-state students is like, I love Chicago, but how do I even know what's going on? How do I even know how to navigate that system that, will take me back and forth between campuses or to other parts of the cities? And that's a really great question. Something that our first year students are required to do is they're required to be a part of one of two classes, either Discover Chicago and Explore Chicago. Both of these have the same type of concept. They have different topic areas that you can choose from. So if you're someone who wants to explore or discover Chicago food, which is ironically our class that gets filled the most, or if you're someone who wants to discover or explore the professional sports side of Chicago or the theater side of Chicago, you'll sign up for those classes or that class. And then basically you'll be paired up with a faculty member, which is like a professor. You'll be paired up with a student mentor, and then you'll be paired up with a staff member like myself. And we'll basically, give you some background about, the topic area that you picked. But then another great thing is that we'll take you all around Chicago that relates to that topic area. And so one of the biggest things that we do in that class is teach students how to read the L map, how to ride the L, how to know where to get off, how do you know when to transfer from one train to the other. So we'll go extensively through that process to ensure that you're comfortable enough to, maybe explore the city later on by yourself, take it between campuses by yourself or with a group of friends, know how to navigate yourself around Chicago. So I think that's one of the best things that, a student can, be prepared with when they're coming to DePaul. And fun fact as well is that a lot of these companies and stores around Chicago do give free and discounted stuff to students, to DePaul students. All you have to do is present your DePaul student ID. So again, we just want to give you guys that opportunity to experience Chicago, experience that excitement. I don't think there's a better time to be living in Chicago than when you're a young college student, because you get to be exposed to different people, exposed to different cultures. And, college is going to be a really transformative time for you guys. So you guys will have the opportunity to discover a lot of things about yourself. And what better way to do it than in a big city? And then the last thing we want to do is provide you with those opportunities. So to talk a little bit about our career services. So career services here at DePaul is very, very important. We always want to ensure that we are preparing you for after graduation. And because of that, we do our very best to provide students with all types of opportunities that they can get their hands on. So our career services, and to give you guys a little bit background about Chicago, here in Chicago, we have about 28 Fortune 500 companies. We have over 400 major corporate headquarters. There are a lot of nonprofit organizations if you're someone who wants to go into nonprofit. And then we have here at DePaul, just in general, a very extensive amount of alumni. So a little bit about what our career services do. They provide a lot of workshops year round. Workshops as common as resume building, interview practice. They even have like this cute little closet where you can go ahead and rent out clothing if you really want to for a big interview. And then they'll do a little bit more personalized stuff like career coaching, career mentoring. They'll do a lot of those exams to see which career area is most suited for your skills. But another big thing that they'll do is that they'll work with a lot of companies in the area to provide students opportunities like internship fairs and job fairs. They'll connect with all these companies and, you know, they'll bring them onto campus, and that's really just the time for a student to kind of snazzy up, get their resume up, and just go ahead and distribute their resume, fill out any applications, and hopefully get interview. So after a internship fair and a job fair, they'll host a lot of on-campus interview days as well. So these companies will come back and interview their chosen candidates, and hopefully you get a job. So, you know, we'll try our best to get these opportunities to you on our campus so you don't have to travel too far for them. To give you guys kind of a rough idea, last year alone, they posted over 21,000 jobs and over 8,000 internships on our student portal for our students to kind of go through. And they worked with over 359 organizations recruiting our DePaul students. A quick list of those employers are going to include Amazon, Glorious Children, Edelman, Marriott, Discover, Facebook, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Google, etc. So again, we definitely do provide our students those opportunities. It's just a matter of our students taking advantage of them. And I had alluded to this before, but we have a really high amount of alumni that come from DePaul, over 185,000, and it keeps growing. So we always like to say that we're really proud that, you know, we gave our alumni and treated our alumni very well while they were here at DePaul, to the point where they want to give back. So our DePaul alumni, the ones who choose to, will be a part of this program that we call ASK, and that's short for Alumni Sharing Knowledge. And basically what they'll do is that they'll take this opportunity to engage with students who are currently at DePaul and offer them any type of resources that they can. So if a student is just looking to simply shadow someone in the computer science field, maybe they can find someone on there, someone who maybe wants to find a mentor in the business field, they can go ahead and do that. So it's not uncommon for us to hear from our students that they found opportunities through these alumni. So that's just something that I like to throw out there as well. Also, here at DePaul, we have a very extensive student life. With having so many students, you're always going to have something going on campus. So here we have over 350 clubs and organizations, anything ranging from like Dungeons and Dragons to video games to fashion to academic clubs. So everyone's, you know, surely will find something that kind of goes in the area that they want to be interested in. We have a lot of service opportunities, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on. A lot of campus recreation. So we do have a lot of club sports and intramural sports. We are the DePaul Blue Demons. So we are a Division I school, part of the Big East Conference. And if you're interested in any type of sports or being recruited, just let me know and I can send you those types of forms you can fill out. And then again, we have music and theater. So if you're someone who's interested in being a part of, you know, that community, you can always be a part of it as well. To get a little bit into the Vincentian side of it, so I kind of had said this before, but we were founded back in 1898 by Vincentian Catholics. So we were named after, or to give you guys more of a background, Vincentian Catholicism gets its name from St. Vincent de Paul, and he was a patriot saint of charity who devoted his life to service. So back then, when they were trying to decide where do we put DePaul University, they ended up picking Lincoln Park because, you know, back then it was not the affluent community that it is now. Back then it was a community that was full of immigrant and, you know, the working population who didn't have a lot of access to secondary education. So they decided to put it there to kind of host these types of, communities. DePaul eventually went on to be one of the first universities to admit women, to admit students of different religions, because we actually represent over 30 religions here on campus by itself. So a lot of what St. Vincent de Paul would do is ask, what must be done, and what must be done for your community, what must be done for oneself, what must be done for celebration. So for anyone interested in that side, we provide a lot of opportunities for you to ask the question, what must be done, and find a solution. So we provide a lot of service days for our students to go out and do some community service. We work with over 20 Chicago service sites. We are community peacemakers, and we have a lot of postgraduate volunteer services as well. If you're someone who's interested in doing a little bit more of domestic or international immersions, I know that's something that's put on pause right now, but that's something very popular that our students do as well. One of the biggest things I get asked, when I talk about that as well, is going to be like, well, what if I am just not too religious, or what if I'm not Catholic in specific or something like that. Like I had mentioned, we represent over 30 religions, so we'll actually have specific areas of campus dedicated to different religions in case you want to practice your religion as well. But in saying that, I will also say, our students can be as involved or as uninvolved as they want with these types of religious aspects of the university. So you don't have to feel pressure in, being a part of the community if you don't want to as well. All right, to kind of wrap this all up, next steps. So for my seniors in the room, just know that if you haven't submitted your application, our application is completely free and we are exclusively on the Common App. A couple things required to submit the application is obviously going to be the application itself, and then we're going to need your official high school transcript, so you might want to check in with your guidance counselor. To make sure you are sending it in the proper avenue, because we'll have to take a look at your classes and your GPA. And then from there, everything else is optional. So DePaul is actually going to be a test score optional institution, and we actually have been test optional for a very long time. So if you decide to submit your test scores or not, just be sure to go ahead and put that on your application, because you'll have to put on there whether you'll be submitting them or not. To give you guys a rough idea, for our incoming class last year, our average GPA was around a 3.6. Average ACT is going to be around a 26. So again, those are averages, guys. So, we definitely took students above that average and below that average. Other aspects of the application process that are optional are going to be an optional essay and optional letters of recommendation, but I always encourage my students to submit at least one, because I want to try to get to know everyone as much as possible, and especially now in the virtual world where I'm not able to meet everyone in person. Just anything that'll help me understand why you want to be a part of the DePaul community, and maybe what aspects of you would make you a good part of that community. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. A couple of application deadlines. So the first one's going to be our early action program on November 15th. Basically, all that means is that if you apply by November 15th, you will get your admission decision no later than December 15th. Our early action is not binding, so you don't have to worry about, if I apply and get admitted, I have to go to DePaul, because that's not the case at all. And I'm actually going to start reviewing applications soon. I might be doing it now. So just be sure to get those applications in as soon as possible. And again, if you have any questions about any aspect of the application process or your application process in general, just let me know. If you're not able to get your application in by November 15th, that's totally fine. We do have a second application deadline. That's going to be February 1st. So if you apply by February 1st, you will get your admission decision by March 15th. Like I said, the theater school and the music school are conservatory style, so they have their own admission process and admission deadlines. Our School of Music, their deadline is going to be December 1st. The theater school is going to be December 1st and February 1st. And now we are in October, guys, so it's FAFSA season. our FAFSA, or the FAFSA, not our, the FAFSA opened up October 1st to try to get that in as soon as possible. At some point after you submit the FAFSA and you've hopefully been admitted to DePaul University, our financial aid office will send you an award letter, and that is the time for you to reach out to your admission counselor, set up an appointment, and just go through the whole thing. Me as an admission counselor, if you reach out to me and you want to review it together, we'll review every single number. Well, we'll hop on Zoom like this. I'll pull up your award offer and we'll literally review every single number, where it came from, what it means, what does it cover, talk about any aid that you received from DePaul, and then also from FAFSA, talk about different types of options, and then come down to the overall cost, payment plan, and so on from there. That reminds me, I did not talk about merit scholarships. So just so you guys know as well, about 90% of our admitted students do receive a merit scholarship. Those range anywhere from $15,000 to $24,000, and they are renewable every single year. Once you are a DePaul student, you'll come to find that all of our 10 colleges, schools and colleges do provide internal scholarships for those students that, did I say colleges? Yeah. Our 10 colleges will provide internal scholarships for our students attending those colleges that you can later apply for. And then also we do have another portal called DePaul or Scholarship Connect. And those are going to be external scholarships from donors and organizations that want to, help out a DePaul student. So I think that is it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I know in this virtual world, it can be, this whole process is a little bit more different than what you thought it would be. So just be sure to reach out to me. You guys can email me, text me, call me, set up a Zoom appointment. But I think I don't have any questions. So I think that is the end of my presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you all so much for being with us today and being a part of our virtual college exploration. Please know that once we close the window, there will be a quick 4-question survey, and we just ask that you take a moment to fill that out because we would love to hear your feedback and work to continue to make these events great. As we mentioned at the beginning, we would encourage you to sign up for additional sessions. They run throughout this week and then again throughout next week as well. So there are lots to choose from every evening, both this week and next week. And again, there will be a recording available. So you got a lot of information today, as well as some contact information. But if there's something you wanted to check back or other recordings you wanted to see, they will all be available again at InACAC.org. So thank you so much for joining us and for your interest in the virtual college exploration. We wish you good luck with your college search process. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.